to Michigan homes each year, putting food on the table of those who need it most. But the federal government is still shut down, and this program is set to end on Saturday. The Michigan Senate stepping into the debate on a 27-4 vote. It adopted an emergency state budget to put food in 13% of Michigan homes, or about 1.4 million family members. However, the chair of the Senate Budget Committee warns everybody.
This fund is a stopgap measure, a lifeline for families facing uncertainty. What we're doing today is not a permanent fix.
The money will go mostly to young children, older adults, and the disabled. $50 million will go directly to families through their current EDT cards. But this senator comments,
while politicians in D.C. are not making ideal decisions, we in this chamber, the leaders in the Senate, are making sure that SNAP benefits are funded, that our food banks are funded to help support those efforts, and also making sure that families do not go without.
Another $20 million will go to restock the depleted food bank shelves around the state. This Republican senator said he would vote yes, but he wants from the Democrats a long-term solution, as he notes this measure cannot be acted in time to meet the deadline this weekend.
This is all political theater. The bill before us cannot be passed in time to help.
Included in the vote were 4 Republicans who voted no. They were Senator Joe Bellino from Monroe, Oakland County Senator Jim Runstead, and Senator and candidate for governor Eric Nesbitt. None of them explained their no vote during floor debate. At the same time, Governor Whitmer has found $4.5 million to send out to food banks in all 83 counties, and she's calling on foundations to help out too. This measure now moves to the Michigan House for debate next Tuesday. In Lansing, Tim Skubic, Fox 2 News.
You know, and right now there are more than 1 million people in Michigan with the prospect of losing those benefits that they receive from SNAP.
In response, the state is expanding its Double Up food program, or food bucks, and that's to help families impacted by the federal pause and potential loss of those benefits. Fox News' Hillary Golston explains.
The Double Up Food Bucks program began back in 2009, and it was the Fair Food Network that started it to fill the gap when it comes to healthy food. We're talking fresh produce. Here now from the Fair Food Network, Holly Parker, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
What is the biggest concern now that SNAP benefits are going to be suspended going into November?
Well, I'm a parent, and as a parent, I can't imagine a worse scenario than not being able to buy groceries for my family. In the lead up to the shutdown, we've done 3 things. We have expanded the eligible food items to include frozen. We have lifted the daily earning limit. It's typically $20, and we've lifted that limit. And we've also added frozen fruits and vegetables to the list of eligible items. So we're really trying to help families who use Double Up to maximize the benefit so that they have some additional buying power going into the shutdown of SNAP.
In fiscal year 2024, the average amount that a family was getting on SNAP is $335 a month. That's a significant amount of money that is now basically gone.
That's right.
Can this program be enough, or are we really just going to have to rely on food banks and other things?
I think it's going to take a whole community stepping in. The impact is incredibly great, and it's not just on the families and the individuals who rely on this food assistance that are going to be feeling this. It's also the economic ripple effect that is going to have such an impact, and it's going to take a big effort from all of us to help families and communities make it through.
All right, thank you so much. And we'll get more information up on our website, fox2detroit.com. The estimates are 1.4 million Michiganders rely on SNAP benefits. That's roughly 14% of our population here in the state, so the need certainly is dire. In Detroit, I'm Hillary Golston, Fox 2 News.
And we are following a news alert from Detroit. Right now, police are searching for a man accused of inappropriately touching a 5-year-old girl. The child's family member says it happened inside the restroom of a McDonald's on Michigan Avenue near Braden Street. Investigators releasing images of a man they're calling a person of interest. He was last seen wearing a red flannel shirt and black pants. Anybody who recognizes this guy is asked to call Detroit police or Crime Stoppers. You may know the number, 1-800-SPEAK-UP. There is a $1,000 reward for the tip that leads to an arrest in this case.
Well, Michigan's primary election day is next Tuesday, and in Detroit, the two candidates are getting one last chance to campaign before voters go to the polls.
Detroit City Council President Mary Sheffield and Reverend Solomon Kinloch Jr. are taking part in a forum at the Detroit Economic Club today. Fox News' Lauren Edwards is live with what they had to say. And Lauren, this is when a lot of ears in Detroit are perking up as to what these two have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you, Rup and Taryn, they talked about everything. Now, it's important to note that the candidates were not on the same stage at the same time. They came up one after the other, but they were asked the same questions, and they had 2 minutes to respond. And one of the first questions they were asked by the Economic Club was how they plan to collaborate with the business community moving forward that leads to growth and inclusion and development. And take a listen to what they had to say.
The biggest issues that I hear in Detroit is that oftentimes the perception and reputation of Detroit being open for business is that it's difficult to get things done and that there's so much bureaucracy and red tape. And so I have been very clear that I would be a mayor that ensures that Detroit is the best place in America to grow and start a business. And so we want to eliminate as many regulations as possible, streamline some of our city processes to ensure that we're really fostering an ecosystem for businesses to be able to thrive.
It's something that I've already been doing. During COVID, I didn't wait on anybody else to stand up. I partnered with Mike Fresh Market on 7 Mile of Livernois. And when we were wrestling with food scarcity, we were allocating $50,000 to $100,000 every week to buy groceries to give out to thousands of families. And so when we take children out to 6 Mile store and give them exposure and experience, and when we've kept people in their home by paying rent and utilities, that's not something that we just started doing collaborating. That's something that we will continue to do.
So again, both mayoral candidates, City Council President Mary Sheffield and Reverend Solomon Kinloch, meeting with the Detroit Economic Club at the Soundboard at Motor City and talking about everything from housing and education to crime and public safety. Now, transportation was also a big topic, each talking about how they plan to invest in it and also how they plan to continue the work Mayor Mike Duggan has been doing for years. That's what President Steve Gregorian says is one of the main things the club cares about most.
Be honest with you, the business community is a bit anxious because of the great relationship and collaboration they've had and enjoyed for the last 12 years with Mayor Duggan. And it's a big deal for them to understand what is these candidates' vision for that collaboration. I think the city of Detroit's amazing right now, and it can only go higher and higher. There's so much business support and citizen support for the community and for the city, and it's fantastic.
So again, it's just important to note that the candidates were not on the stage at the same time, so it wasn't a debate. It was more so just an interview and a forum with each one. And one thing that Gregorian said, that's something I'll always remember, is that they said they've been doing this for 91 years. It's a 91-year tradition that the Economic Club meets with both candidates. Reporting live here in Detroit, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, one of the things that Mayor Duggan got criticism and praise for was building relationships with big businesses and medium-sized businesses and offering tax incentives to do business with Detroit. This is something these two candidates, whoever the people decide to become mayor, will have to carry on that type of a legacy, like it or not.
You know, one thing I'll tell you, Rup, is that they asked about, are there any names? Or is there anyone in particular that businesses that they want to collaborate with? And that both candidates actually just talked about maintaining a general relationship with the business community here to help move Detroit forward.
Yeah, those relationships mean dollars on the streets of downtown, that's for sure. Lauren Edwards for us live tonight. Thank you.
Well, scattered rain showers was pretty much everywhere this Thursday, but will it clear out before Halloween? That's the very important question all kids and parents want to know. Weather Authority Rich would have been here with a look at our forecast. Rich?
Taryn, right now there's rain along the St. Clair River from Port Huron down to Algonac, Marine City included, but you can see the trend is for the rain to move off to the east, and that'll be the case for all of us. So if you have seen some light rain today, it will not be raining for very much longer. 50 degrees here, 53 in Lansing. Some parts of western Michigan had all kinds of sunshine. Look at Mount Pleasant, 55. So the showers will come to an end. It's going to be chilly tonight as we get down to 38. And here's a peek at your Halloween forecast. Dry, breezy, and chilly as we get close to sunset tomorrow, but no umbrellas needed. That's a good thing, Taryn. A check of the weekend numbers coming up in 10.
Thanks so much, Rick. Well, Fox 2 following breaking developments today involving the British royal family. The move the king has taken involving Prince Andrew that royal watchers say is incredibly historic. Plus, Canada. They make, cool tattoo designs, but they can also help treat liver disease. We're going to explain this one in HealthWorks.
I'm Camila Mary in Detroit. Fire Prevention Month coming to a close, but volunteers making sure that you are safe. The story coming up.